I was very curious how, because we've met most of the guys that we've had. We had Ronda on the phone. We had a few of we had Misha Tate on the phone. But I think, Mike, is Holly the first woman in studio? I feel like she is. And I got to be honest, when I went to shake your hand, I was measuring you up. I was very curious how strong it was going to be.
Stronger?
No, I was intimidated. It actually felt strong as it was.
I also don't want to be that girl that thinks I have to walk around and be like,
Do people expect that when they meet you?
It depends. I think some people want to squeeze because they know I'm an athlete, and I'm like, what? Well, at least grab more than just my fingers.
How much of a turnoff is it when, like, you shake, not like a show of strength here, obviously, but like when you shake a guy's hand and he just shakes your hand like a wimp, like a wuss.
Just don't do this.
Ugh. Oh, that's the
hand
worst.
over thing.
People still do that?
Just don't do that.
People do that?
Wait, what did I do? What did I do when
you got a good handshake.
Right,
Everybody had a good handshake here. Yeah, you know.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm representing myself well.
No, I just don't like the hand over. Like, just hand me my fingers.
No, I don't. That's
like,
not a good look for anybody. I don't know. You should smack it away is what you should really do.
I do have some good handshakes that this older man.
So you're getting a great
opportunity. Oh, yeah?
You're getting a great opportunity here, Holly.
Absolutely.
Now, you're naturally what? What do you naturally weigh? Like, are you naturally
Don't ask
bantam?
a woman her weight.
Right
Come
now,
on now.
I think she's an athlete. She can tell me. Naturally, you're bantam, correct? Or
naturally, to go to bantam is better. I mean, I'm 9 weeks away from February 11th.
Yes.
And I could make 145 tomorrow. You know, and I still have a whole training camp to work. So, yes, it makes more sense to go to 135. But I am a bigger one. I still have to cut quite a bit to get to 135. But,
yeah.
Right now, it's like I'm going to eat for my training, not necessarily for my weight.
Yeah, I marvel at how you guys do this. I really do. We had Weidman in here, and he was telling us he had to lose like 11 pounds. He'd lose 11 pounds in 2 days. I'm like, how do you possibly do that?
I one time did 14 in like 24 hours.
That can't be healthy, though.
No, it didn't feel healthy at all.
I
don't ever want to do that again, but.
How badly did we feel for Weidman?
I know.
That was a tough, New York guy, finally at the Garden, takes an unfortunate knee to the head from Romero. Weidman was winning the fight. That was a tough one to lose.
Yep.
But that's
anything can happen in there. I'm telling you that the one thing about fights is you never know what's going to happen. That's why people like to watch them. That's also why not everybody does it for a living. Because it's a lot to take on. It's the most vulnerable thing you can do.
I don't know how you guys do it. UFC women's featherweight contender. She's in studio, Holly Holm. We just announced last night, as we said this before. Now, Weidman's not on this card, right?
No.
Because you have to have the 5 or 6 months, that period after the fight. But this is going to be at Barclays. So the big one, UFC 206, was at the Garden. This is now UFC 205. 208 is at Barclays. So you went from no presence in New York to the two biggest venues in New York, and it's just another step that the sport hurdles over. It's big.
I mean, this is a huge opportunity, and gosh, I want to make the most of it, I'm coming off 2 losses, and everybody always talks about the Ronda fight, but that's not what sticks in my head. What's in my head is I'm coming off 2 losses, and I want to come back and show everybody that I'm better than that.
Which one hurt you more? The Tate? Misha Tate?
Probably not.
No. Well, that's the one. That's the name that everybody knows.
Everybody, right? And getting choked out completely. A lot of people think, but in that fight, I know I was winning until that point. And to just get beat. I mean, Shevchenko outpointed me, so I think that bothers me more, as much as people would think otherwise.
Now, what BT was alluding to, you're going to get a chance to fight in the inaugural featherweight title. So you're going to get an opportunity to hold a belt for a new division. Now, did they resist this weight class because there's just not enough fighters?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much, and I didn't.
What did you say? What did you say to when they came to you and said, "We want you to fight for this"? What did you say?
Well, first I was supposed to. They were talking about a different fight at 35, and then they talked about, I said I would fight.
Rousey.
We were talking.
They wanted you to fight Rousey.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
No. So then at when I said yes to catch weight with Cyborg at 140, and then that didn't go through, and then they had me fighting another fighter at 135 January 28th in Denver, and then that didn't go through. And actually my coach just called one of my teammates because I wasn't by my phone. I was at the gym, and my teammate came over. He's like, Wink's on the phone, and I was like, hello sir. And he's like, hey, I know I'm on my way out of town, but what do you think? I never take a fight without you saying I already know what you're probably going to say about Jermaine Durandame, 145-pound title. And I'm like, well, that was a change of events, but heck, let's do it, you know.
At that point, do you know exactly how much you're going to get for the fight, price-wise?
Is all that worked out?
How does that work? Yeah, what is the process for that?
Yeah, what makes you decide yes or no?
What
Because
helps
it
me
feels like
decide
it
yes or
feels
no?
like it's all over. It feels like it's all over the place.
It is all over the place, but I never take a fight for the money. And with
I would take a fight for the money. I honestly, I would.
A lot of people do,
and I'd lose,
and
but I'd take the money.
I don't.
Well, why did you take this fight then?
Here's how I usually take fights. Coach, you think I can do it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Because if my coach doesn't believe in me, then and they're seeing my skill set from the outside, then that.
Meaning, your coach will be? I guess you have to be that honest. By the way, Holly Holm is with us in studio here on Tiki and Tierney. You will ask your coach, can I beat her? And he, in a moment of brutal honesty, he'll say, no, you can't handle her.
You know what? A lot of times he won't even offer the fight. There's probably been fights earlier in my career, maybe he said no to
protect you.
Or he'll be like, you know what, this fight's good for you in 3 more fights.
Gotcha.
But we've never said no to a fight. I will say that. We've never said no. And with any of my career. And I think the first time that it really stuck with me to just believe in his belief in me was when I fought Christy Martin. I had 12 fights. This is in boxing, obviously. She had over 40 fights, had fought on an undercard of Mike Tyson, had been on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And the odds were 4-1 that I was going to be knocked out. And, you know, he came into the gym, and I remember the exact day. I was jump roping in the gym, and he walked in, and he goes, hey, Christy Martin. And he just spit out the date. And I was like, wow. Okay. I started jump roping a little faster. And he's like, oh, you're going to beat her. And it's like, okay. And it was one of the easiest mentally, so hard. I mean, that training camp was forever. I mean, it was, you know, it's like, why am I even doing this? And but one of the easier fights I've ever had, you know, physically, like the fight went just how we planned it. And after that, it's like, you know, like he knew I could do it. And ever since then, it's been one of those things that I really put a lot of faith and a lot of trust in him, and he knows that. Now,
we've had you on air before, but not in studio, and it's harder to ask the background questions when you're not actually looking at someone. What's your background? How did you get into this?
My sophomore year, I just wanted to keep in shape in between soccer seasons. So one of my friends at school was going to this kickboxing aerobics class, and I was like, I want to go. She's like, you get to punch bags and stuff like the whole second half. And I'm like, okay.
How old are you?
I was 16, and I did aerobics for like cardio kickboxing aerobics for like, I don't know, 9 months. And I was like, I kind of want to try the sparring classes because I would watch them if I got there early before training or whatever. So I started sparring a little bit, and next thing you know, I was like, I think I'm going to try one fight just to see what it's like, and that was it.
And you started boxing.
Really?
And then you had to make and then you had to make the transition to MMA fighting. What was that transition like? Because it's obviously a completely different level for women specifically.
So my entire boxing career was at the same gym that I am currently at right now.
In New Mexico or no?
In New Mexico.
Okay, no, just checking.
And it's a lot of people don't know that. I think I came from this like boxing gym. I've been working out of an MMA gym. My sparring partners for my boxing fights, some of my biggest sparring partners for my boxing fights, John Dodson, Julie Kedzie, and they're all fighters that have fought with the UFC. Even currently they were fighting MMA while I was boxing, but they would just box with me for that round. You know, they would have their shin pads on and everything, but when they sparred with me, they just boxed. And,
why don't you get Tiki in there, smack him around? Can you?
I don't know.
How long would it take?
You want me to be the sacrificial lamb?
Holly, how long would it take? Yes, better you than me. Actually, Santher, how long would it take you to physically dominate Tiki, who was a running back, a former athlete?
I'm quick. That'd be hard to catch.
I mean, really, how long? Can you get him down and choke him out in 30 seconds? Are you that good?
If I had to take him running, I would take him running in the Sandia Mountains, going uphill at the altitude, and maybe I would have a chance to even catch him.
But if you caught him, if you actually got your arms around him,
but
if you did, you did.
Thank you.
30 seconds, you put him out.
But if we were in
that's what I mean. In a controlled environment. Yep.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Then I'm going after it.
You know, I listened. You're very soft-spoken. Not
a lot of people say that.
Not what I would expect from someone who
you are actually
like vicious when you get into the octagon. Your personality
People
doesn't.
say that a lot, but yeah, I am, I guess.
How do you? I mean, we all know everybody in athletics flips a switch. How do you flip your switch? Because you don't look this way, like you're sitting here right now with us. When you do, when
Yeah,
you're
if I saw you in
getting ready to fight.
Starbucks, I would think that you were a teacher or, going to Wall Street or something. Just you blend in. You don't look any different.
Purely for the fact that you're in there for survival. It's that easy. If it's up to them, they want to knock you out.
Yeah.
No, not today.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it? I would think, Tiki, as you were saying that, I thought you were going to go in a different direction. I would think that, and I could be wrong, that it's tougher to flip the switch off than it is to flip it on. Because you're right. When you step in there, it's about survival.
Yeah.
But when you leave the octagon and you know that if something, I don't know if I can even burp, like how do you maintain an emotional sensibility outside of the ring without kind of losing your cool if somebody does something to you? Never happens.
No.
No?
Never yeah, I don't. If anybody does anything, I guess that, I don't really get offended easily. And when they tell me things, if it's towards me, it's like, the only thing that gets under my skin is if somebody, offends my friend, then I'm like, oh.
Well, then you got to kick some ass, and then it's
right.
over.
Don't do that, Yeah. So that's the only time that I actually feel like heated, which, how often does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, as the older we get,
what I mean? Yeah.
not very often, depending upon what circumstance you put yourself in. I've got a theory about Rousey, and I have to run this by somebody who's actually in the sport. I believe it's over. I believe it is over for her, that she is disconnected, no longer has the passion, and I don't think there's any real uptick moving forward. I think that her best day is way, way past in the rearview mirror. Am I wrong?
I think that is, that's a lot of people are asking. It's one of the biggest questions that's asked to me. How do you think Ronda's going to do in this fight? I don't know if she's going to be able to come back. And I guess for me, being that I've been on both sides, winning and losing, I do feel she has a different demeanor about her. But who's to say what will really happen?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do feel how you feel, and I guess for me, I'm just always the one that's never going to say one way or the other. However, I feel that I said that it just depends on what Ronda we get. Is she going to get hit and freeze, or is she going to get hit and say, "Oh hell no, not tonight, not again"?
Can she get back to that place, that visceral? That's kind of why I feel the way I do. I feel like once that door shuts,
she was as intense of
a
figure, caricature that I'd ever seen.
I don't know how you tap back into it once it's gone.
Yeah. Well, and I think too. I think a lot of people that have had ups and downs and come back from it. I think some of the stuff that helped me prepare for some of the bigger, MMA is way bigger than women's boxing, and so when I came into it and there was all this attention on it, that asking me how I was going to deal with it and how I was dealing with the emotions of it and the stress of it, and it's like, I got knocked out cold in round 7 by a French girl, and my very next fight was a rematch against her, and I had to believe in myself. She had 21 knockouts out of 24 victories, and I was one of them. And everybody's like, what makes you think you can actually beat her? And I'm like, what are the chances of her knocking me out again? Pretty high, but I think I can beat her. And I came back and I beat her. Not a devastating knockout, but all three judges, unanimous.
It was never up for debate.
Yeah.
You won the fight.
It was the more technical, but easily. And she was, even after the fight, you were just too crafty. We talked after the fight. She was actually really cool. And but times like that I had to believe in myself, regardless of what's going on out there, and coming back from a really, really brutal knockout. And I had been on a win streak for I don't know how long before that. That helped me prepare for some of the bigger things I've had to face. And, I don't know Ronda's background. She came into MMA and just blew through everybody. So this is kind of that testing moment. I don't know, I know she was, in the Olympics, and I don't know I haven't really looked exactly into, her exact, No,
you got your own career you have to worry about. I was just curious what your thoughts on. I got you. Holly Holm with us here in studio, Tiki and Tierney.
Now, the 145-pound featherweight division, a lot of people thought it was ideal for Cyborg. Now, she turned it down, didn't turn it down. I don't know what's going on with Cyborg. And we asked Dave, who's here with you, what's the story? He said there isn't a story. What is the perception of her amongst you all?
I met Cyborg in person for a film we did for Fight Valley, and we got along really well. And actually, her, Misha, and myself were all on the set together, and we had a good time. And I know that she really wanted a 145-pound division. We had even talked about weight because her and I are the same height, and we kind of talked a little bit about it while we were out there. And I know that, her last 2 fights, she's been able to go to 140. So I think that once the 145-pound came, she kept, obviously, it's kind of been all over social media that she's been wanting 145-pound division, and now it's here. And you know what? I don't know what negotiations happened or what opportunities were presented to her. I know just basically what you've read is what I've read, but then again, don't believe everything you read. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation is.
So basically, you're getting her shot. Is what it comes down to.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I'll take it.
The momentum is obvious. Barclays Center for the Sport, UFC 208, February 11. Holly, Jermaine, how do you say?
I think it's
Durandame?
Durandame.
Huh?
Durandame.
Durandame?
Jermaine Durandame.
Yeah.
Jermaine Durandame. That's good.
You just got to say it once.
You got to say it quick, and hopefully nobody catches the stumble.
Yeah.
Holly, good
Just roll
meeting
it
you.
off the tongue.
Finally,
Exactly.
let's get a good picture, and then we're a little late, but it's all good. We're going to root for you, and I'm
Thank you.
going to bet money on you.
Yes.
So
He bets on everybody.
if my kids don't go to college, it's because you lose.
Well, I'm hoping.
I'm going to have to come and get
Only
you.
Weidman let him down this last one.
Okay.
He did.
I'm hoping that I won't let you down. And anytime, like with my after the Ronda fight, people will be like, "I bet on you. I owe you this or I owe you that," and I'm like, "No. Thank you for believing in me.
Yep.
Go buy yourself something cool."
Just make sure you reward the faith, Holly.
That's my plan.